Today's video is highly requested by you. We are reviewing White House Black Market. Ton to look at and tons to discuss. Let's get into it. It looks like a new collection is out. They're calling it Fall Forward. So let's check out these new arrivals one by one and see what's going on. It looks like some items are already trending. Starting with this very first item, it's a halter vest with a lace-up back. Loving the look of this vest so far. It has a great neckline, V-shaped, and it's elongating. It's also elongating from the bottom. It's a little on the longer side, but it has that little V notch. Show the top of your pant to allow it to be a little more elongating. Not crazy about the back, however. It has a little bit of a corset style, but I don't like the way it's been executed. The ribbon looks a little cheap, like it's kind of taken off of a gift package and just thrown into the back of the vest. I don't know how deep I want to dive into this with looking at fabrics and everything, but the fabric on this is a cotton viscose blend and polyester. I can probably tell you right now, I'm sure the fabric selections on White House Black Market, for the most part, this is going to be kind of what you see is what you get. Right next to it are a pair of cuffed jeans. These are high rise. They're a wide leg. If this is a style that you gravitate to, they seem fine to me. I like that they are high-waisted. They are a very faint blue. This Fall Forward collection might be a little bit more of a transitional season type of collection. Not crazy about the composition of these jeans. I do like them to be fully cotton, but this is a cotton polyester rayon blend with 1% spandex. They probably have a lot of give thanks to those synthetic materials. On a good note, they do have a variety of inseams. A regular is 27, a short is 25, and a long is 29. I'm 5'7" and I have a 28-inch inseam that hits me right at my ankle. So if for a cropped pair like this, I'm probably between a regular and a long, and I would probably opt for a long. However, I'm not much of a cropped wide leg kind of gal, but these don't look half bad. Next up is a belted midi dress. This one has a little bit of a denim look to it. It is a lyocell cotton blend with a little bit of polyester and nylon thrown in there. I do like the dark blue denim color of this, but I'm not crazy about this belt. It looks very elasticated and it looks a little cheap, if I might say so. The belt is built in, so you're stuck with this belt. You can't trade it out for one of your own. Given that, I would probably stay away from this because I'm just not liking the look of that belt. A button-down sweater dress. This one is in a lovely dusty pink color, a rayon nylon blend. I think it's a sweet dress. It hits just below the knee at the calf on this model. It has some pretty details on it. It's very feminine and soft looking. I'm not crazy about the material, but the look of the dress is just fine. It's very sweet and feminine. Next up is a cardigan sweater. Again, we've got that rayon nylon blend, which I'm just not going to be loving the fabrics here. The cut of the sweater looks fine. It looks like a lovely transitional piece. However, I'm not personally crazy about the coloring on it. It's just me. It's just not my favorite. This next color-blocked wide leg jean, I think it's very boho, very retro in style. And we always see two-toned kinds of denim pop in and out of fashion here and there, so you might already have something like this hanging in your closet. I'm liking the wide leg cut of them, and of course high rise is always a favorite of mine. A regular inseam is 31, so it'd probably hit me just past the top of my foot, great for a flat, and a 33 would be great on the long for a heel. Shorts are 29. It's definitely on the stretchy side. If you like your jeans very stretchy and comfortable and easy to wear, then I think you might like this, especially if you are into this two-toned style. I fear that I'd get tired of these very quickly. I kind of like the look of them in that retro kind of way, but I'm afraid I probably wouldn't reach for them too much. And at $140, I think you really have to be into this trend to pick these up. Next up is a denim maxi dress, and I'm not really crazy about the look of this. I think because it has stitching under the chest, it has darting down the chest as well to define this area, and it could be very hit or miss. You need just the right amount of chest in the front to fill this out and to have them hit you in the right spot. I think it's very difficult to wear this. Let me see if the straps are adjustable. They are adjustable, so that does help to situate the top of the dress in the right position, but I think these are really hard to wear, and I'm not a spaghetti strap kind of gal. I know from our conversations that many of you shy away from spaghetti straps too. It's easy enough to throw a cardigan over it if you wanted to conceal a little bit, especially if this is a transitional piece into the fall. But overall, I'm not crazy about this. And of course, the fabric is a lyocell, cotton, and polyester blend with a little bit of spandex. So I think I'll stop mentioning the fabrics because I think you're already seeing by now they're not spectacular. If there is something that is spectacular, I'll call it out. But just assume that these are not the best fabrics. Tweed bomber jacket. This one looks lovely. I like this bomber style. It's very current and it has a chic vibe to it. I think it looks great in both colors. Here's a trending set. It's a slim boot pant, and I like the look of them on the model. They seem quite long. She's got a heel with them. Regular inseam is a 31, a short is 29, and a long is 33. So you can wear a heel if you're around my height and looking for something long. I like this dusty rose color. It's really striking and very chic. I like the top that they paired with it, and I also like the matching blazer. This looks like a pretty good set. Here is a lovely tailored twill vest to go with that beautiful dusty pink outfit that we saw just a second ago. This one has a gorgeous look to it with a squarish neckline. It's also a little on the longer side with that little V-notch cutout, very elongating. I think this one is really, really lovely, and it would match perfectly to that blazer and pant set. Next up is a slim ankle pant, and I'm really liking the look of these as well. This model looks gorgeous in them. I love that it's a high rise. However, this website is not specifying to you what the actual rise is in measurement. Not that that really matters all that much, because sometimes it's best to just try the garment on and determine for yourself how you feel in it. If it says low rise and you're not a low rise kind of gal, then definitely omit them. However, a mid and high rise can sometimes be so close together that it's really hard to say for sure until you try it on. A regular inseam is 27.5, so it would hit me just around my ankle, which is perfect. It has a matching blazer. I think this is a really good look. Another denim mini dress, and this one is a strapless version, which is one of my favorite styles, and I think I'm liking this one a lot better than the previous one we saw with the spaghetti straps. It's a darker denim, more appropriate for the fall season, and it has a little bit of a peplum style, which I love, great for concealing the tummy and accentuating the waist. I think this one is darling. Here is a midi dress with lurex. This looks to be kind of like a tank dress, a little form-fitting. This pattern, I can take it or leave it. It doesn't really look dated or problematic at all. It just kind of, in this case, is probably just a preference if you like it or you don't. I think it looks better up close. From afar, it looks a little muddled, and I guess that's the look of it. Here we've got a mid-rise bootcut jean in a fabulous dark denim. We've got a regular with a 33 inseam, so that's pretty long even for a regular pant. Short is 30 and long is 35. I'm really liking their lengths. I think they're doing a good job of giving a good distribution for all heights. Hopefully, if you're on the much taller side, you can get away with the 35 inseam on these, because I think that's fabulous. A lot of spandex in this with 5%, so super, super stretchy. That kind of knocks it down in the ranks for me, because when it tends to be very high in a spandex or lycra, it really cheapens the rigidity of the jean, both in the appearance of it and also in the structure of it as far as holding up over time. So you just have to be forewarned about it. Do you want your jeans super comfortable and easy to wear, or do you want them to be long lasting? It's all in your preference, I guess. Extra high-rise barrel jeans in white. I'm loving the silhouette on this model, how they're looking. It's a very subtle barrel jean, almost a little, kind of mom style. So nothing extreme or exaggerated. I think it's really fun kind of silhouette to play with. It's a little edgy, it's very modern, and by modern I mean contemporary. They are a little on the short side. The regular inseam is only a 25.5, so I don't think they're creeping up all the way up to a capri, unflattering mid-calf type of territory. However, they are on the shorter side, so you're going to have some space up above your ankle, and relatively on the other inseams, we've got a short 23.5 and a long 27.5. I'd probably opt for the long 27.5. A style like this looks fantastic with a small heel, really to just elevate your look and elongate yourself. All right, here's a question for you. Do you like skirts, where it's a skirt in the front and shorts in the back? I'm very indifferent about them, leaning towards saying no. If I want to wear a pair of shorts, then I'll wear a pair of shorts. If I want to wear a mini skirt, I will wear a mini skirt. And if I feel self-conscious in the mini skirt, maybe I'll wear some biker shorts underneath it, or I would probably just skip it altogether. It is rather sporty, but I just can't say for sure that I find it to be a very chic look. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Let me know in the comments below what your take is on a skirt. Here's a peplum sweater tank top, and they're loving this space dye pattern that they have. I guess it's a continuing style through this entire collection. I'm not hating the look of this tank top. It is a spaghetti strap, so that does bother me a little bit, but I like the peplum style. I've been really into peplum lately, and I just like that little flutter there. It's very concealing and camouflaging and also flattering at the same time. This one is darling. Here is an extra high-rise wide leg trouser. I really wish I knew what they meant by extra high-rise. Is it going to be a 12? Do they mean it's a 10.5? I don't know, but for me, an extra high-rise is usually between a 12 to 13. I do like the wash of these jeans. I like the silhouette. I'm not really feeling this printed mini dress. It does have a very retro feel to it. I feel like this type of pattern was something you saw in the 70s, so maybe it's touching on that boho feel. Also, it does have big balloon sleeves. I do like the length of it. It's just above the knee on this model. If you like this type of style and it's your aesthetic, I don't really see anything wrong with this. It's just, I think it's a matter of preference. These kick flares are looking a little too much like they're creeping into that mid-calf unflattering territory. So I would advise to take a look at the inseam and see if it works for you. Seeing on the model, I think they're just looking a little too short for my taste. Here's another tank top in that space dye style again. Maybe I'm just seeing it enough here that it's starting to grow on me a little bit. I think previously we saw it in a spaghetti strap, so this tank top style is a little more my speed. I would certainly consider wearing this as a tank top on its own or under a blazer, but if it were a blazer, I would stick to a neutral color like black. I certainly wouldn't pull red off of this and wear a red blazer or a red cardigan with it. It would be a little too matchy-matchy, so I would just keep it to a black or a white or a gray. And for some reason, I'm not minding it as the tank top as much as I didn't really like it in the cardigan style. The Tencel maxi skirt looks okay to me. I like that it has a little bit of a flutter at the hemline and has a little trim detail, which seems rather insignificant, nothing that you would really overly tire of. I think denim style maxi skirts, I mean, they're a classic style. They're certainly not the huge trend they were a couple of years ago, but you can't really go wrong with a denim maxi skirt. These high-rise flare jeans are trending. Definitely a pronounced flare, not overly exaggerated, but you can tell that they're flare and not a boot cut or a wide leg, and I really like that about them. It says, made with our secret sculpting panel to hold you in and smooth. Oh, lovely. A regular is a 32 and a petite is 29.5. It's funny, it doesn't say what the long length is. I'm really liking the look of this belted halter jumpsuit. It has a very 70s retro vibe to it, but in a very good way. I always love the look of a jumpsuit. I do find them to be a little difficult to wear. I think you need to match the proportion of the jumpsuit, whether you're a long torso or short torso, the length of your legs. There's a lot that has to come into play here to make the jumpsuit look just right on you. But this one looks great on the model. I love the little crisscross halter neck top of it. The belt looks fine. I love the wide leg palazzo style flare and flow of these wide leg pants. I think this is a really cool style, and I like it in black, and gold makes it look even more retro if you wanted to go for the gold. Here is a halter top with a pattern. It looks like a very retro style of pattern, but nothing that seems outdated. It can definitely be something that you can get away with right now. Style of the top looks lovely, again with a little bit of a peplum style at the bottom, and I really like that. However, this one is 100% polyester, and it looks like it. Now here's where the same pattern I think can fall a little short, mostly because it's playing into a silhouette that I'm just not really feeling. I mean, it does have a very retro 70s vibe to it, and it matches the print really well, but I think there seems to be a lot going on with this, and just doesn't seem necessary. The sleeve is very flowy and big, but it has a big slit on the side, just really, really retro. Has some ruching going through the waist, and it's causing the pattern to shift in a different direction, so it looks a little muddled and a little messy if you ask me. I'm just not really crazy about the execution. And here's that same retro pattern, also in a very retro style with the ruffle down the front, also a very fluted sleeve, and I guess the pattern fits this style because it all just meshes well as being very retro, and it has a 70s vibe to it. However, I'm just not a fan of this. This twist sleeve tee has a very interesting look to it. I like the scoop neck and the fitted style of the tee. It does have some poofy sleeves with a twisted knot detail, which is not exactly my taste. However, it does kind of give this basic tee a little more interest if you're looking for something that has just a little extra something to it. However, these wide leg cropped pants that she's wearing, I would stay away from these. They are in Frumpyville, where they're cutting her off mid-calf, and I don't find them flattering at all. I think they're just far too short to be flattering, and I would stay away from these. We're halfway through this video, so please take a quick second right now and give this video a big thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you're enjoying it. It's going to help push this video out to more fabulous, sophisticated ladies like yourself, and I'd really love your help to grow this community. And if you're new here while you're at it, please subscribe while you're down there to see more videos like this, as well as videos on fashion trends and outfit styling. I think you're really gonna love it here. Thank you a ton for being here, and back to the video. This pocket vest halter top I think looks stunning. It is a halter style, so it would be a little tricky to wear a bra with it. However, I don't think it comes that low in the back, but it does come pretty low up here in the front. I do like the look of this, and it has a matching midi skirt, which I think is stunning, as well as the set together. It's a pencil style skirt, and I think this looks really beautiful as a co-ord set, and the pieces look beautiful separately as well. Here's another halter top, which I think looks lovely. It has a tie around the neck, which I think looks really stunning, very chic. However, it is chiffon, and it is just basically a fancy word for polyester. All right, I like this one shoulder asymmetric ruched top. I really like the look of this. I like that it's long. I like that it's one shoulder. It has some great detail here, and this is definitely a top that I would enjoy wearing. Here's a geometric style pattern. I almost feel like it has a little bit of a Versace vibe to it for some reason. Not hating on it. I'm not sure it's something I personally would wear, but I think it looks fine, and with a blazer, a great piece to just have a little splash of detail in your outfit. To pair the matching skirt with it, I think it might be a little much. I'm not entirely in love with the skirt. I think it looks a little frumpy, just the knitted style of it and the pattern running all the way through it. Not my favorite. I think on its own the tank is fine, but as a full two-piece set, I think it's a bit much. And here's another geometric print in the wide leg pant. This has a cool retro vibe to it. I like the flowy, loose fit of the pant. I feel like this would make for a great bikini cover-up or vacation piece to wear to the pool or to the beach. I don't find this to be something I can probably wear outside of those circumstances. It does otherwise feel a little dated to me, retro in not such a good way. I would also stay away from this blouse. It has this geometric pattern on it. it, and then a little bit of color on it as well. The poofy sleeves, it's just not feeling like a very current style to me. I'm not liking the way this one looks at all. I would avoid this one. And then there's a similar version of it as a belted dress, and I really advise against this one. It has a mishmash of pattern on it, and then it has these odd blue and white stripes through it. It doesn't make sense. It has no flow to it. It feels very disruptive. Pass. What are we thinking of this one shoulder top? I don't mind the silhouette of it. I like that it's ruched through the waist. I love the one shoulder detail. The pattern I'm not entirely sure about. I personally would not wear this pattern, but I don't mind it so much because it does feel muted. It's just black and white with hints of gray in it. It just kind of all blends together and it doesn't feel overwhelming at all. And I like that it's paired with some white trousers. I'm not minding this at all. However, I can't say the same about this pattern here. It has a very retro feel to it, but kind of in that 70s show patterned wallpaper type of way. Not my favorite. The blue is not helping it at all, and also the silhouette of this shirt with that necktie detail, it's just not working for me. It also has an elasticated waist at the bottom. I think this one is a pass. I would also pass on the dress version of it. I just think this pattern is a little too dated retro for my taste. This crepe gown looks absolutely stunning. Again, very retro in style. It looks like something Michelle Pfeiffer would have worn in Scarface. I really love the look of this. The color is stunning. The long V-neck, even the sleeves, even though they're belle in style because they're short, the gold jewelry that she has with it, this just is really striking, and I love the look of this. Somehow it's not doing it quite as much for me in the black, but I think a lot of it just comes down to how they're styling it. This crocheted lurex tank dress is a bestseller, and I can see why. The fabric choice just elevates it, even though it is a crochet style, which can look casual. This takes it up to another level, and I love the look of it. You can probably even get away with wearing it in the daytime, of course, with a pair of simple sandals. They have it styled beautifully with some gold jewelry. This one looks gorgeous. Let's do a little quick fire through some of the patterns I came across in my research that I didn't put into last week's video. If you missed that, I'll link it below. It's an entire video all about patterns on 4 different brands. I did J. Jill, J. Crew, Reformation, and Cezanne. It's a really good one, so watch that after this one. This is a very boho style pattern. If you like boho, I think this pattern looks just fine. I like that it's been paired with a neutral. Here's that same paisley boho-ish type of pattern in a full dress, and I have to say I am absolutely in love with this one. I love the cutouts through the middle, the plunging neckline. Would you believe even the sleeves don't really bother me? I think if I saw a lady wearing this walking down the street, I would think that she looks incredible. Again, it may not be a style that I personally would wear, but I can appreciate the look of this. I think it is executed pretty much to perfection, and this model is rocking this dress. I don't like the blue and the orange combination. It's very outdated in my opinion. Also, this striped geometric pattern, it's really busy. I also don't like that she's got it tied here in the front and the elasticated sleeves here with a little bit of a poofy style sleeve. Not really liking the look of this. I think it is a little outdated. Now here's that very same similar pattern in a wrap dress style, and for some reason this is not as bothersome to me as it is in that shirt. But it's almost like this pattern fits more with the silhouette than it did with that blouse, because this is just feeling very retro Diana von Furstenberg type of wrap dress. It looks like you just plucked it out of the 70s, but in a really cool kind of way. So it's not bothering me here. Again, not sure if it's something I would wear personally, but I can appreciate the look of it. In this silhouette, I would stay away from it in the shirt. I would also pass on this one too. The pattern just feels a little off to me. I don't like the look of it. It looks a little messy, and it just doesn't have a very contemporary modern feel to it. I mean, here is the same top in a plain blue, and I don't mind the look of the top, the silhouette of it. It's a cropped button-up shirt. It looks just fine, but then you throw this odd ball pattern on it, and it just doesn't work. Now here's an example where the pattern is not really bothering me per se, but the silhouette of the top certainly is. I think it looks a little dated. I think it could look a little frumpy. I don't like that wrapped neckline detail with the poofy sleeves. It's also just poofy here. It basically has no shape. Overall, I don't find this particular silhouette to be flattering. I think this dress is stunning. It has a very bold red floral pattern against a white background, but it's very broken up with a lot of negative space, and I love the silhouette. I love that it's asymmetrical, it has a slit up the front. I think this pattern and this dress, it's a stunning combination. I think this style of floral pattern looks very current and fresh. I do appreciate the negative space, and I like the halter style. It may not be everyone's preference, but I think it's executed really well. It has a very 70s vibe to it as well. I think that's kind of a going theme here. I love that it's very, very maxi as well. Here's a dress that seems very Reformation to me, having just done that video last week with all their patterns. This is very similar to that with the ruched bodice and the scattered floral pattern. This is kind of more of like, I think it's ivy, and it's on a purple background. However, I just think this meshes really well together. I love the drapiness of it, the length of it. I think this really works, and I mean, I think this is stunning. Now this next pattern is almost kind of like, it's like a floral meets a toile type of pattern, I guess you can say. I don't really think it works in the shorts. I think maybe this silhouette of the short, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to work in the short. However, I do think it works beautifully as this bustier top. I think because it just has a very feminine feel to it. However, I'm not crazy about this belt. I don't like that it's a black and white two-tone. I kind of wish it was just plain black. It almost feels like this, again, looks like a ribbon that you pulled off of a birthday gift and wrapped it around your waist. It doesn't feel really intentional. I'm loving this pattern on this top more so than the shorts. Let me know what you think about that one. Do you like it both ways, or do you prefer one or the other? Now here is a pattern that I have to say actually looks really, really stunning. I think the purple flowers with the green leaves, it has a lot of negative space. I think it flows beautifully. It's just the right proportion on the top. I can't say I'm crazy about the style of the top itself, although I do think it lends itself to the femininity and overall aesthetic that matches the pattern. I do have to say I'm not crazy about the green shorts that they paired with it. I think maybe just leaning more towards a pair of white pants might have helped this a little better, but I'm really not hating this top. I can appreciate the beauty of it, and it's just a gorgeous feminine style. I would stay away from this tie-dye, floral, muddled, messy type of pattern. I think it looks a little aging in the style of it. I think between the pattern having a lot going on and then the top itself has a silhouette that just has a little too much with the poofy sleeves and the drapey style of it, this banding through the middle and the peplum. I would stay away from this one. I'd also stay away from this one, again, pretty much for the same reason, just not in a very current, modern, contemporary style. Also the top with this weird crinkle detail here at the neckline and the poofy sleeves with the elasticated hem at the wrist here, it's just not working. This looks absolutely stunning. I love the halter neck. I love the drape of it, and it kind of has a very pleated style. It works beautifully with this pattern because it's just a very subtle black and white pattern. This one is beautifully executed. Here's a stripy pattern, and I like the look of this. Style of the top and the skirt, beautifully done. I like the silhouette. I love that the top is a bandeau style, but it has removable straps. This one looks great, and I like the stripe detail, the coloring, everything. This one works. Here is a teeny tiny little gingham check pattern, if I'm not mistaken, and I really like the look of this. I like the cigarette style pant, very slim. It's a cropped ankle, that's okay. I love that she's paired it with with a black shell, and she has a matching blazer. I really like the look of this one. Here is a polka dot style, which I don't really think works very well in this case. I'm not crazy about this wrap style with the poofy sleeves. I don't think this really looks very modern or current for the season, so I would skip over that. Here is a dress with an iCat pattern, and I really like the look of this. It's a halter style with a long slit up the leg. I really like that it's a white background. There's a lot of negative space. The pattern itself is not overwhelming, and I think this one has also been executed beautifully. However, in this top, I'm not really crazy about it. The oversized sleeves, the wrapped neckline with the 2 rope details. If you would like to enjoy this pattern, I would definitely enjoy it on the dress and avoid it in this top. Here's a similar iCat pattern. This one is reversed with the black background and the white detail. Again, I think this looks pretty chic. I like the silhouette of this jumpsuit, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm loving the asymmetrical halter style of this top. Not really crazy about the little bit of a cowl neck here, but it's not extreme, and I think this looks really cool. Now here's a very retro style cardigan that I'm really loving. I love the way the stripes have been done. It's very muted. It has a very retro feel, but it just also feels really current, like you can get away with wearing it today, but it also feels a little like you plucked it out of your mom's closet from the 70s. I don't know, I really love the look of this one, and I love that it's paired with some white pants. Here is a stripe that I do not think works. I don't like that the stripes are varying from the top to the bottom, ruching up the skirt part of it. I don't know, just something is calling out to me here, like it's just not meshing well. The stripes also look a little messy to me, like you tried to draw it with a black magic marker and you just went outside the lines kind of thing, like your hand was shaking when you were doing. I just don't like the look of this. Let's stay away from this one. I'm also not crazy about this red and black and white pattern. I think it's trying to be a snake print, but I'm not really crazy about the execution. I think the ruffle detail across the top, it would have been just better off as a simple strapless dress. It does not need the tie detail through the middle because it has enough of a silhouette on its own. It does not need a tie. So I think if you stripped this dress down and took all the frills off of it, it would look a whole lot better. Now here is the same snake pattern as the red version, and I love it so much more in this lighter color combination. I love that it's muted, but you can still see the pattern. However, you can't really make out if it's trying to be a snake skin or something else. It just really blends so much better than the red version. The tropical pattern, which I think looks really lovely, would be perfect for a hot summer day, going to the beach, to the pool, out in a resort, or you can even get away with this in your everyday. I love all the detail of the dress as well. I think it feels very current and very today. So if you wanted to go for a tropical pattern, I think this is a really great way to go about it. Taking a quick look through their accessories, I'd have to say I think they're really doing a great job with their shoes, their belts, their costume jewelry. I'm seeing some really great options here. A lot of kitten heels, some great sandals, some really fashionable cool belts. Overall, I think they've done a really great job with their accessories in general. Please check out the description box below for some shopping links to all of the favorites in this video. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this White House Black Market review. I think in general there were more winners than losers. I think there were definitely a lot of wearable options, with the exception of some fabric choices just not being up to par. But I think if you're a fan of White House Black Market, you've just come to accept that. Please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new here. This is what this channel is all about: chic, feminine, modern, contemporary, sophisticated fashion. And I hope you'll join me for another video. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.